If you pick up a fourth case, holy moly, I'm gonna absolutely lose it.
Whoa. The judge isn't holding back. He's clearly had enough. You can feel the tension. But what exactly pushed him over the edge this time? Let's break it down.
Do you understand? I want my community safe. When you're out there, you need to make the right decisions before you do something. Think, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen? And if it could lead to a bad result, then don't do it. Do you understand? Can you run his license to see, does he have a valid?
Eligible, Your Honor.
Okay. You're not allowed to drive unless you have liability insurance as well. Do you understand? If you don't have car insurance, you cannot drive as well at all until you have a license and car insurance. Do you understand? Okay. Did we have any conditions, on the terroristic threat?
Judge, when I put the guy, I got assigned to him, he was already in the back.
Correct.
And so I don't know if there was anything in the previous case. I know one of them is against the brother. My understanding is, I think
So, I guess, tell me about it, Alex, please, on both terroristic threats. Who are they?
Terroristic threats? Yes, Judge. So on the first terroristic threat, the complainant and the defendant are brothers. Dispatched to a residence in regard to a family disturbance. The defendant was removing the complainant's belongings from the residence and putting them in the back of his own vehicle to prevent the complainant from getting his things.
Two separate terroristic threats, one to a family member, the other to a gym manager. And both involved death threats. This isn't just about anger issues, this is legal quicksand. What would you do if someone said this to you in public?
The complainant tried to remove his things from the vehicle and the defendant stated, "I will kill you." The complainant was in fear for his life when the defendant said this, and the defendant also later texted the complainant that if he touched his things again, he would cause him severe pain.
This is the second one.
And the second terroristic threat occurred on October 26, 2024, when the officer was dispatched to a Crunch Fitness. The officer made contact with the complainant, a manager at the gym, who stated the defendant was involved in verbal and physical altercations with other members of the gym, and multiple complaints were filed. The complainant stated the defendant's membership was canceled due to issues with other members and the defendant making threats. The defendant then continued to act aggressively after finding out this information and caused a disturbance by screaming and cursing loudly. The complainant told the defendant he needed to leave and not return. The defendant became more agitated, left the business, returned multiple times, and when the complainant stepped out with the defendant and told the defendant not to return, the defendant responded multiple times he was going to come back to the business and kill the complainant.
Okay, Judge, I would argue on that one. I'm going to come back. I don't see an immediate threat or anything like that, any brandishing of anything.
You're right, it's the going to that.
They say, repeat what the threat was again?
He responded multiple times he was going to come back to the business and kill the complainant.
Stuck like Chuck. The judge is getting creative, but he's making a real point. If this guy keeps playing games with the law, the consequences won't be funny. Do you think scare tactics like this actually work?
I'm gonna come back, I think that there's enough to go forward. Don't go back to these places. I don't want you to have contact with either of the complaining witnesses. Do you understand? I'm gonna have you sign these bond conditions. Make better decisions when you're out there, Mr. Jenkins. At some point, someone is gonna stop bonding you out, and you will be stuck like Chuck in there until these things are over with, and it's gonna be a long time. Do you understand? You've asked me to give you a different lawyer. This isn't Burger King where you get your way. I will not give you another one. If you're unable to get along with Mr. Perez, then probably not him. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
He may tell you things just because you don't like it. It doesn't give you a cause to complain and I don't like this person. No, he's going to give it to you. I've worked with him for many, many years. I trust him. He does a good job. That's why we gave him to you. You understand? Okay. So we'll have you sign these bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. So he was not, I guess, having a good time with the prior lawyer.
Sure.
So,
I've spoken with his mom already over the weekend.
okay.
We had a really good talk about what was going on. I didn't know she was going to bond him out as soon as she did, so we're about to go have a talk with the factory house.
My guess is, though, is that if it's mom, she's not going to continue to do it, because every time she bonds you out, all you're doing is you're giving free money to bonding companies. When you pick up new cases, all you're doing is you're giving money away. And I'm sure Your mom doesn't have unlimited funds to just keep putting money away.
This is the moment. 95% in jail due to lack of self-control. That's not just a statistic. It's a reality check. Courtroom or not, that number should scare all of us. Type self-control in the comments if you think that's the key to staying free.
Wait. Get a clue. What do you do for a living?
I worked for Uber because the job I was doing.
No, I just want to know, are you fully employed?
No, at the moment.
You need to get a job. You have too much time on your hands and you become self-destructive.
It's hard to get a job because of my record. Just listen to people.
I should tell you something. Do you think it gets easier in life? No. You don't even have convictions and it's hard for you to find a job. How hard do you think it's going to be if they end up in convictions? Do you see my point? Make better decisions. 95% people are in there because no self.
Judge just dropped a truth bomb. 95% in jail because of no self-control? Harsh but fair? These moments remind us, court isn't just about punishment, it's about wake-up calls. Think this defendant's getting the message, or will we see him again next week?
Control. All right, Matt.
And Your Honor, on both the charges of correctness, there are previous conditions from.
Yeah, I will just have them sign those.
Okay, yeah.
So Matt, these are state's bond conditions, so they've already been filed. All we need to do is sign them. Mr. Hernandez, you're charged with evading arrest or detention. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. Okay. On January 19, 2025, at approximately 11:17 p.m., the officer was dispatched to a discharge of a firearm call on Tilbury Woods Lane. Multiple calls stated there were multiple gunshots in the area, and while servicing the area, the officers were flagged down by a citizen who stated she heard multiple gunshots and a green sedan sped off. Multiple citizens provided video footage, and the officer saw a vehicle that matches the description parked illegally in front of a residence on Moss Springs Court Road, and multiple males exited the vehicle. The officer then initiated a traffic stop, and the driver and passengers began evading on
Unregistered AR pistol, tossed while evading police? This is straight out of a crime drama, but it's real life. And this young man is just 17. Will this moment define the rest of his life? Or can he turn it around?
foot. Officer ran after all three males for 100 yards, and all were detained by the officer. The defendant and others admitted they saw emergency equipment and decided to evade on foot. Surveillance video showed the defendant throwing an AR pistol with no serial number in front of the residence, and surveillance video matched the defendant's clothing.
You saying our defendant here was seen throwing an AR?
Allow me to read the DIM to confirm that it is.
Sure. They filed a tampering. Am I right in assuming that that's the serial number?
Yes, Judge, it is this defendant throwing the AR, and the firearm had no serial number. Yes.
How can you impute the tampering because it's a specific intent crime, right? Unless you have an admission or something like that, something that I have. But you know what? That's not even my forte. It's like we're doing the evading right here. So
fighting upstairs, gonna fight down here too. So you can already expect my issues with this case already.
You know, you're 17. You're now starting your life. This is not a good way to start. You know, you only have two ways that you can go. You can go up or you can go down. Life doesn't get easier the older you get. It only gets more difficult. You get bigger, fatter, you lose hair. It doesn't get easier, and it starts with school. Stay in school. Don't hang with dogs. You're going to get fleas. Do you understand, Mr. Hernandez? You are not to smoke weed. You're not to use alcohol, and I'm making that a condition of your bond. I don't want you to have any possession of any weapons as well. Do you understand? If I find that you're in possession of a weapon, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'm going to put you in jail. You're going to finish school with me. You understand? Did they impose any other kind of restrictions up there as far as like curfew or anything like that?
They did not. At first, he had an ankle monitor with a curfew. I asked the court, they agreed to take it off. So his mother and him are going to go after this court proceeding to get that removed.
Is mom here?
Mom is here outside with his younger sister.
Okay. Make good decisions, man. Once you start racking up convictions, I'm telling you, it's over. It's not going to get easier. You understand? We've given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with her. She's great. She will help you out. If you're not listening to her, you take off. I can't find you. You pick up a new case. I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you. Do you understand? One more thing. I will test you in about 45 to 50 days. And if I find that you're smoking weed, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? You will get tested. Be ready. So I don't care what you're doing. If you stop doing anything that you shouldn't be doing now, then you should be fine in 45 to 50 days. But if you continue to use, or if you smoke, it's not going to go well. You understand? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. We got you. And then anything you need, whatever you need, just come back and we're happy to help.
Thank you, Judge. And just one thing real quick with David. I know there's other people that were in this vehicle allegedly. Do you have any names for them?
I can see.
If I circle back around from you?
Oh, co-defendants? That's a good, because you know what?
Well, that's part of my issue with both of these cases.
And Your Honor, it does not appear there's any connected cases.
So I have,
So
yeah, that's my issue with the tampering. That's my issue with this case.
They got them all, right?
That's what they say.
Maybe just because of this.
This judge gives one final warning and it's not sugar-coated. You can feel the tension, one more mistake and it's over. What do you think? Are these firm words enough to change a young life, or is it too late for some?
Surveillance shows allegedly one being thrown and that's why they only went after. Perhaps, I don't know. But
I won't fight everybody too crazy today, but probably the next day. Yeah.
I'm with you. You know, whatever you need, just
Thank you, Judge.
make good decisions. That's all we're asking you to do. All right? Okay,
you very
guys,
much.
thanks. You got it. Mr. Venegas, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. I have previously found probable cause on this case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to participate in like-kind activity. If I find that you're racing, reckless driving, acting a fool on the highway, number one, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. The second thing is I'm going to take away your privilege to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you see if he has a license?
still running it, Your Honor. For some reason, it's slow.
Mr. Venegas, you are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance. That is also a part of your bond conditions. If I catch you driving and you don't have a license or you don't have insurance, it's not going to go well for you here. Do you understand?
Your Honor.
Okay. You have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with him and he'll tell you when you have to come back. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you, then I'm going to issue for a warrant for your arrest. You pick up a new case, act a fool in the free world, I'm going to take it away.
I'm able to run it right now, Your Honor. It's not letting me on our system.
So can you follow the same conditions on the racing that we
Same racing conditions, yes, Judge.
All right, so I'm going to have you sign a reset. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We'll get your bond conditions. You have to sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go.
Good morning, Your Honor. Morning. Wanted to approach on behalf of Chaston Blackburn regarding probable cause. I have issues with probable cause in this case, Your Honor.
Okay, let's do it.
So, officers were conducting an unrelated fatal accident investigation when they observed the defendant's vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed towards the blocked portion of the roadway. The officers saw the defendant disregard a barricade and were able to successfully get the defendant to stop by shouting verbal commands and utilizing their flashlights. Upon contact, the officers observed a moderate odor of alcoholic beverage, glassy eyes, watery bloodshot eyes, and slurred speech. The defendant admitted to having 3 drinks at a nearby bar and was temporarily detained. Standard filtered writings were conducted, HGN 4 out of 6, walk and strength 4 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. DICs were read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were .086 and .084.
Your Honor, when you turn on the video and it's between,
But remember, this is probable cause. I don't get access to all that stuff.
I understand that, Your Honor, but when the officer basically decided that he's going to arrest her. Basically, he puts her in the vehicle, and before any investigation is done, he says, I'm charging her. This is prior to basically any field sobriety test being done. She didn't have any slurred speech, Your Honor. No bloodshot red eyes at all. He said all the buzzwords to trigger probable cause. I'm asking the court to watch the video for 5 minutes, Your Honor.
No. That's in for a suppression hearing. This is a mere probable cause, right? So because I have to give them the ability to respond to your arguments. We can't do that in a probable cause, like, you know what I mean? So if you're saying it is as it is, see if they'll do a dispositive motion to suppress, where if you win, they'll dismiss, but if you lose, you got to plead, right? Otherwise, we can set it, but when you start getting into the video, when you start getting into the minutia of, well, she really didn't have this,
6 months pregnant, past assault charges, and now out on a PR bond. This judge is showing mercy, but is that compassion or a costly gamble? Drop a balance scale in the comments if you think everyone deserves a second chance.
didn't have that. I have to give them the ability to respond to that. I can't just rule on it, whether, there was an actual traffic infraction, that's like problem cause or not, right? But when you start getting into the actual details, everything, that's for, either a suppression or for trial.
That's right.
So ask them if they're good for, dispositive. That's something that you want to do. Let me see. It's only 60 days old, so you've got some time, I'm happy to go forward with however you want to go forward, but for probable cause purposes, you're getting into argument, right? And I can't give them, I have to give them the ability to respond,
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, hey, what's up? Hey,
Morning, Your Honor.
how are you?
I'm here on Miss Delaney Baba.
This one's tricky. The judge is granting leniency, but it's a gamble. She's 6 months pregnant, has past charges, and now walks free on a PR bond. Is compassion the right call here, or should consequences have hit harder? Let's hear what you think in the comments.
The last one.
Ibarra.
Ibarra, okay. What's the word?
So, this first for bond, she has no bond set in this case because she was on no bond for the felonies last time we were here. But the state is unopposed to a PR bond in this case because
She's being held at no bond on the upstairs.
I know, and the felony attorney is working on that. They resolved the felonies on Friday, and the bond was not relitigated up there.
She's going into a PTI. She's going into like a 1-year PTI upstairs. And as part of that deal, we're going to get rid of our misdemeanor, but obviously she needs to get out in order to get into the PTI and everything.
The felony attorney knows about the bond issue. I don't know when she plans to address it, but I'm just here to get her out on the misdemeanor.
Right. Since it's going to be dismissed one way or the other with the felony PTI. So I just want to make sure that our case isn't holding up the felony offer essentially.
Is she here now? Do we have her?
She's in the holding cell.
Do you mind bringing her out? They don't even have a date set upstairs though.
That's
set for 126.
I know. I've spoken to the felony attorney. It was a misstep on her part for sure, but I spoke to the felony attorney and she will go approach on it at some point.
Are you anticipating a PR bond upstairs too?
I would assume so, yes, because she has a PTI, like the felonies have been resolved, so I would assume
Never
yes.
assume anything.
I know. I know, and I can't speak for what happens in the felonies. I'm only on the misdemeanor, Your Honor, but
and I just see that the agreement's is in deeds and everything, so
yeah.
It looks like we're moving towards that.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we don't.
When do you want to set it for? Maybe like a week,
Yeah, that's fine.
and we'll see. Okay.
That's fine.
Does she have history of flight? Do you know? Because she's got
Has no history of flight. She lived in Houston most of her life. She is pregnant right now. She's 6 months pregnant, and essentially, you know, we just kind of want to
She
get
has
her
2
out.
prior assault cases. Both of those, any flight in respect to those cases?
I'm not, I actually ran over here.
I don't think, so. Based on what district clerk shows, no, Your Honor.
Let's take a look. I don't see.
All right, go ahead and sign.
So she only has 1 prior assault. It looks like that one was dismissed. And
Yeah.
this new one here, looks like it was charged assault of a hospital personnel, right?
Yeah, that got dismissed on Friday.
Did they refile it as? Okay.
It just got plain dismissed, and then PTI is for the assault on a public servant, I think. It's a mental health case, Your Honor.
I'm down with you. I'll grant you the PR bond.
Okay, thank you.
The only thing I'm gonna ask is that she stays in touch with you, right?
Yes.
I'm not gonna continue to do this. Like, if she gets out, she just takes off, I'm not gonna do it again,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
And I'll admonish her
Yeah.
as such, so.
Thank you, Your Honor. I guess she'll still come out, right?
Yeah, I need to admonish her.
Yeah.
Who is our CW?
CW,
Hold on a second, we'll get there.
yeah.
Colin,
Mr.
tell me, what you got?
I have Sarah Castillo, Judge.
Okay,
That's the one where we were trying to get the records from the sheriff's office. They finally got them to me. And
you have everything you want?
I haven't been able to get through it all. It's like almost 600 pages.
Second, okay, I didn't- that was gonna be long. Okay, Gator. Lawson, do you speak English, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
You see, Barry, I want you to understand and appreciate that you have a lot of lawyers that are going to bat for you now, trying to help you even get out. Your lawyer here is asking for a PR bond. You even have the state that's in agreement to get you a PR bond. The only thing that we're asking you to do is be safe to our community. Don't pick up any new cases and stay in contact with your lawyer. Right now, I'm going to grant you a PR bond, but I'm not going to do this over and over and over and over and over. I'm going to give you one chance to get out there and do the right thing, make the best of the chance that you're giving. But if you get out there and you just take off and you don't stay in contact with anyone and you pick up a new case, all bets off. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not asking for much. All I want is my community to be safe and for you to stay in contact with counsel. That's it. Okay, so I'll grant you the PR bond. Looks like the bond is already set. We're gonna set it out for a week because you're still at no bond upstairs, so we don't know what's gonna happen in your felony case. So we'll set it off for a week and then we'll go from there, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
So tell me about this one here. Who's the complaining witness?
Dating relationship, boyfriend.
Okay. Does he want to have contact with her?
He's not, he hasn't been cooperative with, so I wouldn't be able to tell you what he wants other than to drop charges, really.
So I want you to understand that I am going to grant what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies Mr. Rodriguez as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate threat or harassing behavior, and you cannot be in possession of a weapon. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll take off the residential restriction just in case, but everything in the MOAP is stuff she shouldn't do anyways. All right, understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Thanks.
Judge, I just had a quick question. We're set for trial tomorrow in ERD on a family violence case, and I just wanted to know logistics wise, would we pick tomorrow and then start Wednesday, or if we have a jury tomorrow, do
Are
we
you
just?
really gonna go?
I mean, it sounds like we're gonna go.
You hear this?
Yes, Your Honor.
I've got 7 other cases set for trial as well tomorrow in here.
Okay.
So let's see which one actually
Yeah, let's see
goes.
what the trial-
So, but technically we pick on a Tuesday, everything starts testimony.